And welcome to the Glacially Musical Podcast that is beer, metal, and swearing, a ghost cult joint edition, perdition, premonition, sedition. No, not sedition. We love America. Of course, I am Nick Cameron of Glacially Musical, joined by my good friend, a man who always beep beep, Keefy Fob Chakas. How we doing today, buddy?
America, blah, blah. What's up, yo?
I am good. Never fight for 1099 forms with a 401k servicer. I hate them. Thank you for joining us this week. If you are here for Queen News of the World. Is that right? That's right. That's the sugar. Because we will rock you this week, I promise. And next week we'll be singing We Are the Champions. But probably not. Anyway, here's how we do this. We do a greeting, a beer check, a vinyl check, news check, shirt check, meat of the day. Again, we are on Queen News of the World. We'll discuss that more. This week, the Glacially Musical Beer of the Week. Keefy, announce yours as the Ghost Cult Beer of the Week. It's a new thing.
No problem, except that I don't have a beer today. But okay, go ahead.
The Glacially Musical Beer of the Week is a new beer for me. It is Scale of Complexity Hazy IPA. Yeah, I got beer on the microphone. Now, like Billy Joel said, the microphone smells like a beer. Finger fudge pour down the middle. Look at that. That looks just terrible, but give it time and it'll look wonderful.
For information on the finger fudge pour and why we do it that way, please see the description and the link in the video explainer. I do not have a Ghost Cult Beer of the Week this week, but I do have another Liquid Death
Murder Your Thirst.
Severed Lime Sparkling Water. They have a bunch
That's
of
a
new
good
flavors. It is. You know the story about, they started doing teas, and they had Armless Palmer and Arnold Palmer's estate and Arizona Iced Tea.
Wait, hang on. Is he dead?
Oh, maybe he's not dead, but
don't
Arizona
know.
Iced Tea owns the. Yeah, he's dead. Arizona Iced Tea owns the name Arnold Palmer, so they tried to sue Liquid Death. So they changed Armless Palmer to Dead Millionaire. And cheers to that shit. I don't even have a glass today. We're gonna just right out of the raw dog this out of the can. Cheers.
Cheers, my friend. This is the best tasting hazy IPA I have ever had. Look at that color. It's very hazy, but it tastes a little bit on the crispy side. I like a good crisp IPA. Not a big fan of the haze.
I don't either. I had a delicious IPA last night at dinner at a place called Taco-licious near my house.
The one that actually was called Delicious, or
No, the place is called Taco-licious.
no?
And
The
the beer
so
is
it was not a Stone Delicious IPA.
it wasn't, but
Okay,
it was.
that was the question.
They did have Stone Brewing on the beer menu, but
Stone
then
is
here's a weird thing:
delicious.
they served the beer and all their drinks in like whiskey glasses, which kind of confused me. Not shot glasses, like a grown-up whiskey glass. And I was like, I want a beer glass. It's beer.
Right?
Why don't you have
yeah.
beer glasses? Maybe
It's like,
I don't know.
did you ever see the time traveler's wife? He's drinking whiskey out of a teacup, and that's when and that is the best trope in movies to show somebody has a problem when they're drinking hard liquor out of a non-hard liquor cup. Period. Can I vent? Can I ask you a question real quick? This is a
Sure.
question. So my wife suggested a restaurant for Father's Day, and I'm not going to say what it is. I will say this much. It is a very classic, very old steakhouse in St. Louis, somewhere I have wanted to go for a very long time. Do I go there, or do I go to the steakhouse that I know is absolutely wonderfully and truly amazing, that I compare every other steakhouse to?
I think it's important to try new things, and you can't have a basis to compare anything if you don't have other things to compare it to. So try new things.
All right, I'll try new things. All right, well, I'm going to move on to the vinyl check. Number one, this goes back a couple of years for me. I believe it was 2019, actually, 5 years for me now. 2019, I was lucky enough to cover Master for the second time, and probably the last time, because Master does not draw a crowd here in St. Louis, unfortunately. And I don't know if they draw a crowd anywhere, but here in St. Louis, it's exceptionally bad. They were supported by two bands, a Brazilian thrash death band whose name I forgot, sorry.
Nervosa?
And what?
Nervosa?
No, nobody that big.
Right, no problem.
And Wisconsin Death Doom band. I would say probably a proto Death Doom band because Death Doom did not exist when they did. They were on a reunion tour. And that would be Wisconsin's own Dusk. It was the first I had ever heard of them. I bought their album that they were selling on vinyl, of course, which is not this one. This is their brand new 2024 record. And the release I bought was a compilation of their first two albums. It is, if you like Mournless Congregation, if you like Kenoma, if you like Clouds Taste Satanic, and think to yourself, too many solos, more growling vocals like Un. Is it Un or Un? I don't even know, and I love them. But Dusk got you. And this one, this little sucker, check this record out. What color should a death metal record be?
That color,
This one,
blood.
yeah, bloody splatter. And I mean the camera does not do it justice. It looks like congealing blood inside of the vinyl, and it is absolutely wonderful. I got this on Amazon. It was a pre-order of no, it is not where I got it. I bought this off of the record label Dark Symphonies. I bought it off their WordPress website. You want to talk about feeling a little bit nervous about buying a website off the internet? Again, WordPress blog is where I bought it. Crazy.
How much was it?
I think I paid about $35 shipped, which it's probably only got 100 copies of each variant because they are, I mean, I love them, don't get me wrong, but they are not what I would call a popular band. They are not, doing Metallica numbers. Nor are they doing Megadeth numbers. Now, this next record is a live record. It's a triple live record, which is like my jam. I think I own more triple live records than anyone not named Iron Maiden. And I think they only own the ones they put out. But this is, and I don't know if you've heard of this guy. He's kind of, maybe he's going to get there. We're all hoping he pulls it through. Jimi Hendrix, live in Maui. I have 3 of Jimmy's very last concerts. I have live in Berkeley, I have the Atlanta Freedom Festival, and now I have live in Maui. This was recorded on July 30th, 1970. So this was recorded literally days before we lost Jimmy.
If I'm not mistaken, that was a Record Store Day 2022 or 3 release.
I am not 100% certain. I
Might
bought
have been
it.
Record Store Day Black Friday 2022.
I got it for $35 at Joe's Records STL in the mall. I believe the child bought a Lana Del Rey or Strokes record that time. It's a weird issue because if you look, it's got 3 records in here, and it's got a pretty sweet. It's got a pretty sweet book to it as well. I'm not going to go through it too much, but I mean, just the one thing, I'm not a big fan of Experience Hendrix. I think I'm on record with that. If I'm not, I will say simply this, and if you want to know more, read his book. I'm Team Leon Hendrix. If you don't understand, go to your local library and get his book. You will understand. But the one thing I will say about Experience Hendrix is they put out some very extensive liner notes.
I'm here to say I am definitely team anti-Alan Douglas. So I don't like any of those 70s records where they went in and fucked up everything and redid. Jimmy would want this and Jimmy would want that by a guy who never worked with Jimmy. And I understand about the family fights, but I can't be down with the brother who never had a stake in it until there was money to be made. So
well, he knew Jimmy. He's got one of Jimmy's guitars.
I don't think so, but we're on different sides of that fight.
You know what I say? Okay, let me explain real quick. I say I'm on Team Leon, but I'm still throwing money at Janie. So what does that say about Nick?
Fair enough.
I am out.
All right. I have a a little more commercial choices than you, although I do love Jimi, and I don't have any of the live Jimmys, but I do love the packaging on that Maui. Wow, that's some great.
You don't have any live Jimmy?
I don't think I do. I don't.
Oh my God, I
I
love
have
live
like
Jimmy.
the Woodstock album on CD. It just hasn't got. I haven't got there. I am grateful for the Jimmy you gifted me. I can't remember if I checked this or not, so we're just gonna check it again if I did. This album turned 21 years old on Monday. This is the self-titled album by Deftones. Look at the beautiful blue and red artwork with the white skull.
I have no recollection of this. I'm going to assume you did not, or I drank it away.
I might have checked it on the Ghost Cult show, the live stream, the weekly ritual that show every week live on the interwebs at around 7:30 Eastern time. And this is a fantastic record with the singles Hexagram, Good Morning Beautiful, which is they have a beer named for, Bloody Cape, Minerva, Lucky You, which is also a beer. Produced by Terry Date, original Deftones producer from their debut album and a few others, infamous for producing Soundgarden and Pantera and other bands. So this is the anniversary vinyl reissue. It came with the beautiful lyric sheet. Look at this gorgeousness with the artwork, and all the lyrics, which, is interesting because Deftones don't print a lot of their lyrics that often because Chino is a very obtuse, similar to Maynard James Keenan, a very floofy and pretentious lyricist with some cool photos of the band back then. This is one of the last records made with Chi Cheng before his car accident that left him in a vegetative state and later perished from. And then it came in this beautiful candy apple red, translucent, vinyl.
That is a gorgeous color. I think I've got about 5 that color.
And I already have it in the mylar. I've played it already. Yeah, this is a banger. I picked that up in my travels last year, but it was around the same time. I'm roughly into the October, November releases, so I'm almost to the end of the year where I can start talking about 2024 stuff.
One of my favorite things about this particular Jimmy performance is for significant portions of this concert, Jimi Hendrix was using the black Flying V gifted to him by Albert Lee.
Crazy.
I know specifically on the song Red House, he was using the Gibson Flying V.
Red House cover by Jimi is one of the best covers ever to exist.
That is correct. If you don't like Red House, I'm going to quote Ben Affleck, you suspect. So, my news check of the week is I'm going to move on into the news. This is also a bit personal as well because Lawyer Wife and I had a wonderful night out around this. The Guess Who has been having more and more concerts canceled. In fact, the Guess Who has not posted on their social media in nearly a month now. And I received an email today that the concert we were attending in 3 weeks has been canceled by the casino. Look, I know specifically what I am getting into. I am I don't want to brag. I don't mean to brag. I don't mean to boast. But I think anybody listening to this respects me as a musical expert, as somebody who has a wide swath of musical knowledge. I know when I am seeing a band that quote unquote what passes for that band. In fact, Keefy and I have been at loggerheads many times because I believe Judas Priest today is what passes for. I believe it is closer to Rob Halford and Friends than Judas Priest. We'll fight that another day. We'll fight it another day. It's fine. I also realize that I am in the minority. I know when I'm going to see a band how many founding members are in that band, roughly. I knew when I saw Kansas last year, there was not many. I didn't know it was only one, but there was only one. I knew when I saw Foreigner, or when I see Foreigner again this year, it's going to be no one. The one founding member is now too old to play every show. And apparently that's how it is with the Guess Who. The Guess Who has had one founding member for the past several years, the drummer, and apparently he has gotten to the age where he cannot play every show. I direct your attention to last week's discussion about Lars Ulrich and what Lars Ulrich has to go through every week in order to maintain a show. Now, the Guess Who is probably not as involved and not as physically taxing as a Metallica show. Yes, I must mention Metallica every year brought to you by Carl's Jr. Anybody get that joke? Uh-huh. Brondo. It's what plants crave. The thirst mutilator. Anyway, so they've canceled the show, and I'm disappointed. I knew it was what passes for. Even if they had, one of the things that Randy Bachman said this week was he had been forwarded promotional materials for Guess Who tours that featured him and Burton Cummings on the posters. I don't know if that's true. Would it surprise me? Definitely not. Do I know that when I hear Foreigner and Styx commercials on the radio that they use songs that the band does not have the members who sang them in? Yes, I do. You know, they play Come See Styx and they play Mr. Roboto in the commercials. Well, I know Dennis DeYoung's not there. When they play Foreigner, any Foreigner song that they're going to play was not sung by anybody in the band. Last year when I saw them on their farewell tour, before this year, which is apparently not the farewell tour, I have no words. They played one song, and I only know this because I looked at the set list. They played one song that anybody on that stage had recorded. And it was like 2 of the 8 dudes. When I saw Chicago, it was what passes for Chicago. There were like 3 dudes out of 50 that were the actual band. It's fine. It is what it is. So Burton Cummings has made it so where my wife and I cannot have a fun night out listening to these songs that we grew up with. Does that make me more or less likely to go see Burton Cummings when he's playing very far away? He's playing at the Factory in St. Louis, which is in Chesterfield, which is 30 miles west of my house. No, I'm not going to see him because he can't play those songs either. So basically what you have done is you've made it so where I can't go have a fun night out. You've ruined my night, and I'm not going to go see you when you come to town. So thank you and fuck you. Except the fact that when you leave an iconic band, somebody will own it later after you're gone.
Also LA Guns, see also every other band.
See also Roger Waters, see also David Gilmour, see also, I mean, we could do this for hours. You are not helping anybody, you are not endearing yourself to anyone. Just, do what John Deacon, future podcast subject, John Deacon, and Steve Perry did while somebody's out there singing their songs. Go cash the checks. And have a great life. You want to tour? Go ahead and tour. You know what? Call it Burton Cummings Guess Who. Or Guess What. Whatever.
Well, guess what would be an amazing troll? Actually, that's a freebie. I give you permission. I will cash the check. Call your own version of the Guess Who, Guess What, in the same font and everything. Guess What, the music of featuring Burton Cummings.
There you go. Come see the Guess What, featuring the music of the Guess Who, featuring Burton Cummings.
Please do this, someone.
There you go. Nailed it.
We should just make the shirts. Maybe we just start making shirts. We don't have to have the subs or the money to justify doing it. Maybe we just start making spoof shirts on every series. I don't want to do the Guess Who, but I would.
But anyway, so the point is, you are not solving anything. You're almost dead anyway. If I'm being honest, your band is pushing 60 years old, and now you're just doing whatever, serious boomer energy, cash the checks, have a good life, buy a beer, and relax. Done.
Well done. I want to say that the only opinion that matters when it comes to your expertise in this realm is mine. I co-sign your value as an expert of music on all these things. You're a gentleman and a scholar. I look up to you. I know that I talk a lot and I talk a lot of shit. I know everything, but I actually admire you and look up to you. So no, you don't need validation from anyone else, just me. Number one. Number two.
Wow, that is the most self-depreciating humble brag I have ever heard.
Yes, well,
and I thank you.
I'm also an expert on a lot of things too. So a little more.
Yes, you are.
A little more Metallica news. James Hetfield today was on the Metallica podcast, and normally I beat everyone to this news, but I had to take a nap today. So a nap time interrupted my voracious ghost culting. And James on the Metallica is 2
Just
days
for the record, I have spent time with Keefy and his dedication to getting this shit out. It's like we're walking to go see Metallica. It's like, oh, wait, hang on. News is breaking. So we sit down and he's like,
How about the time I did the audio thing while we were in traffic in St. Louis? That was
yeah,
great.
that too.
So-and-so died today. Here's the story. The original co-founding bassist of Train and one-time bassist of Days of the New, Chris Collin, died terribly yesterday. But on the Metallica podcast, James Hetfield, among other things, Metallica is about to resume the M72 World Tour in a couple of days in Europe, in Hamburg. And James has been writing music in the downtime. He's like, I don't practice Metallica stuff. I wait till I get in the room with the guys. But he's been writing new music. So I know when this run is over, I think M72 is over. And maybe they go right back to work on another album for 2026, if we're lucky.
What is this, 1985 again?
Could be. I don't know. Like I said, they're dwindling down in terms of how much touring they're doing. This is about the most bare minimum touring they've ever done for a year. If they don't book anything else, and this is it, it's like 20 shows for the year or less.
I think it's likely there's no more touring. This is it for M72. They did a leg.
I mean, this could be it. This could be it.
If he's writing music, I'm going to say it's not it. I'm going to say there's probably one more rodeo, one more. I've got this in me.
But they're never going to do a farewell tour. They're going to just walk
no,
one day.
They're going to do it like Rush did it.
Well, Rush was forced to do it. They weren't going to do it that way. It just happened to them.
Well, you know what? I love the way they did it.
I can't even believe that this guy went on tour with a brain tumor. Like, he was on tour with a brain tumor.
I didn't know that. The thing about the way
I didn't know that. I wish I had known. I would have gone, but obviously couldn't know.
If I had known that, I would have gone too.
I skipped the tour because I was like,
I've never seen Rush. Never seen him.
That's a brutal. Apparently, those guys are talking about doing some kind of Rush tribute tour. Getty,
of course they are. I know. It's been
and probably Mike Portnoy is the drummer. That's what
that discussion started after the South Park. Because Trey Parker, Trey got the guys from the two Survivor members of Rush to come play Rush songs with Matt Stone. And then after that show was over, they were like, we could probably, this was fun. We haven't done this. We could probably do it again. I'm sorry. As for Metallica, yes, real quick, the M72 tour was my favorite Metallica tour of all time. Because it is the most ambitious tour in the fewest amount of dates. But I mean, the fact that they played, they always talked about two sets. I think they played on the leg they did last year. They performed enough songs to do 3 different sets. And that's astounding.
I concur. So we're going to rocket ship through this next news item. Apple Music, which I do not have. I do have an iPod still, which I found recently and charged my iPod. My third iPod. I once had such a terrible flight from JFK to RDU, Raleigh, North Carolina. The landing was so bad on, first of all, don't travel on the holidays. I flew on New Year's Eve. Dumb. Or maybe it was from Boston, from Logan. I flew from Logan Airport in Boston to Raleigh. And the most of the approaches for RDU, like you have to it's like on a weird geographic thing where you kind of like all the flights kind of fly in on a curve and then land. We hit so much turbulence landing that I thought we were gonna die, and I ran off the plane like William Miller in Almost Famous, and I left my 160 gig iPod in the seat back in front of me. Do you think that was found or recovered? No, it was definitely found, but not by me. So anyway, Apple Music has put out their list of 100 best albums of all time based on the Apple editors' picks. And
do you want a yay or nay for me on this?
Just, yay or nay. Well, I mean, it's like, I think they're all legitimate, and it's not so much about, like, without the whole list, which you didn't see, and I don't have a proper listicle of it. I have literally their visualizer, and you just scroll through. So I'm going to just whip through the whole 100, but I'm only going to shout out the ones that I think are pertinent to us. and you know,
Okay, so I'm gonna
we'll see.
assume 40 or less. So I'm going to call it top 40 rock and metal
Yeah, I don't
for
even
my
think it's
for my
40.
yay. Okay, I'll
I
call it
don't even
top
think.
30 for yay and
Yeah, it's
nay.
definitely rock. I don't think it's that many metal ones. So just for starters, number 100 is Robin Body Talk. Just to kick it off, it's not really interesting to us, but you might like her. Now I'm gonna just rocket ship through this. Like
I
so,
do not.
Yeah, so just bear with me. All right, Hotel California 99.
Oh,
Eagles.
big yeah.
Rage Against the Machine self-titled 97.
Hell yeah.
Lord, Pure Heroin 96. Good album.
Don't know it.
Do
Lord, the prog metal band from Australia.
no, not Lordy, the singer. Royals. Personal to me. Listen Without
She's
Prejudice.
not that old, is she?
All time. Just there's like all.
I thought you said it was from '96.
No. Top 100
Oh,
all
the
time.
number
every
is
record.
96. I'm sorry.
I'm
Okay.
reading the numbers as they go by. Top 100 albums all time by Apple Music.
I'm sorry. I
So this is
misunderstood.
rap, metal, pop, country.
Yeah.
I mean, I skipped Solange. I skipped Beyonce. I skipped Tyler the Creator. I
I'm
skipped
literally
Travis
on the
Scott.
trolley now.
Okay. 91, George Michael, Listen Without Prejudice.
Yeah.
AC/DC, Back in Black. You count the rock or metal ones, so that's your job. Rock or metal. So far, that's 2 out of 100.
Yeah, like counting, like numbers.
Just keep track of the rock and metal ones, so we know the total. Okay.
Okay.
But that's 2 out of 100. Nina Simone, I Put a Spell on You, not rock or metal, but I love that one. Massive Attack, not rock or metal. Blue Lines, but a good album.
White lines.
Casey Musgraves, 85. Doggy Style, Snoop Dogg, 84. Horses, Patti Smith, 83.
I'm gonna count that.
Okay, you do so. After the Gold Rush, Neil Young, 81.
I'm gonna count that.
Marshall Mathers, LP, 80. Goodbye, Yellow Brick Road, Elton John, 78.
I'm gonna count that. That's all. It's really yacht rock, but I'm gonna count it anyway.
Madonna, Like a Prayer, 77. Great album.
Mm-hmm.
And Downward Spiral, 9 Inch Nails, I know verboten, but 74. Can't
Not
fuck
counting
with
it.
Get fucked. Unfuckwittable. Unfuckwittable. Aja, Steely Dan.
I gotta.
Nick needs a minute. Hold on. He's got to compose himself. He's about to pee himself.
Okay, serious time. Serious face.
Aja, Steely Dan. 73, to which I refer back to This Is 40 at the conversation at dinner when...
Do you know what Steely Dan is?
A jazz band? That's
No.
band? I know what a
Where-
Steely Dan is. Yes, I know the reference.
From Naked Lunch?
It's a marital device. Yes, I've only read Naked Lunch like 1,000 fucking times.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Yes, stop. I know. I might have had one in my hand yesterday. We'll
I'm in a good mood today. I'm in a good mood.
Is this one of those I drank too much days? I can't tell.
This is only beer number 2.
Okay. Seth Rogen says to Paul Rudd, Paul Rudd's character goes, Steely Dan would never get signed today. And Seth Rogen goes, because Steely Dan gargles my balls, which isn't true. They're great. But
Is that the Rush movie they did?
That's I Love You, Man. But I'm talking about the sequel to Knocked Up. This is 40.
Oh god, that movie sucked ass.
It kind of sucks ass. All right.
I was given a copy of that for my 40th birthday.
I do love that movie.
Which my god, that movie's old.
It's
Holy
really
shit.
it's 15
I'm gonna
years
die
old.
real soon.
Me before you. 71 Trans Europe Express Kraftwerk, great fucking album. Why haven't we done a Kraftwerk series? We're fucking
I don't
up.
know Kraftwerk.
Oh well, we need to. 69 ding 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 Metallica Master of Puppets.
Only 69 now. This list is bullshit.
But it's all of music history.
Yeah,
and it's
I know.
pop music mostly.
That's like a
How
top
many-
20 record of all time.
I think so, but how many rock or metal albums is that? Maybe less than 10.
9.
If you're generous, 9. You don't count
I counted Aja by Steely Dan, and I counted I counted Kraftwerk too.
Is this it? The Strokes 68. Ugh,
Oh, you just made my kid happy.
I guess.
She has it on vinyl.
Dummy by Portishead 67. Not rock or metal, but a good
I'm not
album.
counting that.
The Smiths, The Queen is Dead 66.
Count that.
Not counting this, but De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising 65. Well
Good
done.
record.
Jimi Hendrix Experience, Are You Experience 63. I'm sure it's not the only Jimi record.
63. That is
Not his
his
best record. It's my
It is
favorite
his best record.
It's my favorite record, but it's not. Maybe arguably other ones are more important to me.
No, that is his best studio record.
I think his first one's the one you probably have to talk about.
That is
because
the
it's
first one.
Okay. We'll talk about it. Velvet Underground and Nico, 60.
Yeah. Not high enough.
Arctic Monkeys, AM.
Yeah.
Not a
Gonna
fan.
count it. I'm gonna count it. I don't like it.
Oasis,
Kid loves it.
What's the Story, Morning Glory, 58.
Oh, God, that album sucks ass.
It doesn't, but okay.
It does.
Disintegration, The Cure, 56.
I'll count
Should
that.
be higher, but okay.
Mm.
Just for mentions, because I love jazz. First jazz record on the list. So if you know, I count Nina Simone's kind of a bluesy jazz record. A Love Supreme, John Coltrane, 54.
So
Essential.
nearly when he was nearly dead.
Yeah, but essential listening. Exile on Main Street, Rolling Stones, 53. Definitely not the only one on here for them.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction, 52. Way too low.
That's
Okay.
a top 5 record of all time.
I mean, it's at least a top 20. Again, we're talking about music that I don't particularly love or care for.
I'm talking
There's
about
a lot
music of
this
all
list.
time. That's not even my favorite fucking record. It's an amazing record.
Good record, not rock or metal, 51. Prince, Sign of the Times, not Prince's best record by far. Kate Bush, Hounds of Love. I think this is a very recency bias.
Am I counting that?
They're just like going, I love her, but they're just going too hard on her.
Am I counting? Hang on. Am I is that? Does he get a tick or no?
I don't think it's rock, but
Okay, fair. Move on.
U2, Joshua Tree, Jesus fucking Christ.
I'll count it, but
49.
it's wrong.
Paul's Boutique, 48. Not rock or metal, but a great album.
God, that album's amazing.
Don't care about Drake.
We're talking about a grower, not a shower. Paul's
Bob Marley,
Boutique. Man.
45. Bjork,
I'm counting.
Homogenic
Hang on. I'm counting Bob Marley.
as rock,
Yeah. What's he play? He plays guitar.
I guess. It's not my basis for it.
Eric Clapton playing his songs is rock.
Everybody copied Bob Marley, basically, especially his rhythm guitar. Bjork, Homogenic, 45. Great album.
I'm gonna count that.
Okay.
I don't like it, but
Just a great record in general. Intervision, Stevie Wonder, not his best, but second best.
not gonna count that.
No, I didn't expect it to. Talking Heads, Remain in Light, 43.
Got it on vinyl and original pressing.
I would imagine.
I got that at a church fair.
Control. Aretha Franklin at 40, not bad.
Not bad.
Nas, 49. Carole King, Tapestry, great record. Not rock or metal, but
I'm sorry.
her cat is on the cover, and she's.
It's
so cute.
not her fault. It's my fault.
Enter the Wu-Tang. Here's an opportunity missed. Enter the Wu-Tang is 37 and not 36 on the list with Enter the 36 Chambers.
Do you know what should have been number 37? The Clerks soundtrack.
That's correct. 37.
In a row.
35, Clash, London Calling.
I got that on. But
I'm
no, I
pretty
don't.
sure-
I don't have that.
I do. I'm pretty sure it's the only punk record so far, which kind of sucks. Okay.
It is for. I
Not
have
one Ramones record.
I have Self, and I've got the one with Rock the Casbah.
That's this. Public Enemy, Takes a Nation of Millions. Great album. Not a rock or metal, but 34.
Almost
right,
is. Almost
right
is.
about where it is. Radiohead, Kid A. I don't think you're a fan, but great band.
No, I'm gonna. Kid loves it. I'm gonna count it though.
All right. Let the kid know that their influence is
No,
noted. Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill, 31.
I'm gonna count that.
No Joni Mitchell so far. No.
It hurts to count that record.
Well,
I'm gonna count it. We have it on vinyl, and my dumbass is going to see her live this year. Apparently,
she's great live.
I'm living out 1992 in 2024 this summer.
you should yell out Alanis is God during the thing. And, like, Jay.
No.
Why didn't she kiss Jay?
No, Alanis, she did kiss Jay.
I know.
And Alanis Morissette, I only accept her as the principal of the fictional Degrassi. I did not say fictional twice by mistake. That is the fictional Degrassi from Jay and Silent Bob Go Canadian.
Billie Eilish.
Fictional movie, Jay and Silent. The fictional movie.
I'm trying to whip through these. That's
Sorry.
anecdotes. Billie Eilish, 30, just noting it. My
anecdotes are great.
When we all fall asleep.
You know what I
And
love
her
about
new
Billie
record's-
Eilish is she pisses off old boomers.
They get mad at her. Her new record's really good. I listened to the
Is it?
first like half of it, and it's all she called out Taylor about the vinyl.
Yeah, I agree
stuff,
with that.
And she put out a completely digital record with no vinyl. Just mentioning it, Tribe Called Quest, Low End Theory, very nice. Nice to see all these
Q-tip,
recent Hall of Fame
Q-tip.
makers in here.
Yeah, shocking, huh?
This is some bullshit. Number 28, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Just bullshit.
28.
For arguably the greatest record ever. Arguably.
That is the greatest rock record of all time. It's not my favorite, but it's the best.
Not the best record by this band. Number 27, Led Zeppelin, Led Zeppelin 2.
So that's up on
Of all,
two.
that's
Oh,
number
hang on.
27.
I gotta do. I got so outraged by Dark Side being so low that I forgot to tick it.
Tick both of these.
I ticked them.
I don't agree with this even in the maybe
Led
not even
Zeppelin
in the
2
top
is not
100.
even a top 5 Led Zeppelin record.
It's like half a record. All right.
Yeah.
Just shouting it out because it's important to me. Miles Davis kind of blew at 25. Now these should be inarguably not
Top
even
10.
like if we do a top. Well, yes, but if we do a double take on any of these, it's complete bullshit because the top 25 albums of all time, counting music we don't like, it should be not arguable. I'm sorry
Agreed.
for everybody at home
Completely
listening.
agreed.
David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, Rise and
I'm gonna
Fall,
count that.
24. Yeah, of
That's a
course.
tick.
Daft Punk, Discovery, 23. Good record.
Not a tick.
Not a tick. Born to Run, Springsteen. I'm not a fan, but 22, legit. Maybe
I got
should
Born
be
in the
top
USA.
20.
I got Born in the USA. Gets a tick. It's an important record. Important record.
Personally, my favorite Springsteen is Nebraska, but that's me.
Nebraska.
Beatles, first Beatles record, Revolver, 21.
That gets a tick. So speaking of the Beatles, I saw a Beatles tribute band this past weekend. They were called
was it?
Rain. Pretty
Oh,
good.
yeah,
I'm not
of course.
The Child said, and I quote, "Not enough George representation." He only
I
got.
love your kid. I don't love any kid. I think I love your kid like an extra uncle because like holy shit, that is the most comment of all time. Fuck yeah. I'm sorry. Anyway, number 20, Pet Sounds, Beach Boys, no fucking arguments.
I'm gonna count that.
You have to. Dr. Dre and the Chronic 19, just mentioning it. The fuck?
Real Compton City G's.
Get fucked. Anyway. Taylor Swift 1989, Taylor's version, I don't care.
You know what?
but
Just because
18.
I'm counting it. Just a piss.
Marvin
you
Gaye,
off.
What's Going on 17, legit.
Oh, great record.
Finally, Joni Mitchell Blue 16, legit.
Okay, counting that.
Adele 21, can't fuck with it. 15, I'm not a fan, but like she got a great voice. I love to see
Is
her
that
do
the
better music.
is that the vinyl screw up record or is that?
No, that's the after one. That's 25. Bob Dylan, Highway 61 Revisited, can't fuck with it. 14.
Seeing Bob this year.
I know.
First time.
I might have to. Jay-Z, The Blueprint, don't care for him, but it's a good record. 13.
Fair.
Radiohead again, OK Computer at 12.
Gonna count that. Get the tick.
Hard to argue. Fleetwood Mac Rumors, 11.
Oh, big tick. 11.
11.
11.
Should be top 10, but all right. All right.
I feel like I'm in Almost Famous. 11.
11. This explains so much.
So much.
Beyonce Lemonade at 10. I've never listened to the whole record, so I can't. I'm not a fan.
Don't care.
Nirvana, Nevermind, 9.
Okay. You know what? 9 is about right for that.
9 is about right. Amy Winehouse, Back to Black, 8. Probably. It's a great voice.
8.
I heard this movie is going to be terrible about her. Number 7, Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City, Deluxe version.
Team Drake. Only because he's
Ew.
Little Jimmy. Only because he's Little Jimmy. I love Little Jimmy from Degrassi.
The absolute best Stevie Wonder record of all time, and maybe you could make a case. The
Songs
best
in the
record,
Key of Life.
the best record of all time, maybe 6.
I'm counting
Beside
that.
Dark
Even
Side
though,
of the Moon.
even though
count
it's
it.
not, I'm counting it. I didn't count the other one.
Frank Ocean, Blonde. I have no reference. Not a
Frank
fan.
Ocean?
You don't know who Frank Ocean is?
Does that
The-
get out of
the
my?
singer?
No, I'm thinking of. Wait a minute. I'm thinking of Billy Ocean.
Not
Never-
Billy Ocean, which came on the radio the other day. I was like,
Yeah,
is
but-
this George Michael? No, it's Billy Ocean.
Moving
Number 4, Purple Rain by Prince. Can't
I'm
argue
gonna
with
count.
it.
I'm gonna count that.
Yeah, it's a rock
even though it's
record,
not.
unequivocally.
Okay, fair enough.
Indubitably a rock record. Number 3, what a Black Album better fucking be in here. Abbey Road, my favorite Beatles record, number 3.
I'll count that.
You could have had a lot of Beatles records in here. There's only 2.
Not a big Beatles fan, but I mean I respect it.
Michael Jackson Thriller, number 2.
Okay, fair.
And the number 1 record of all time is voted on by the editorial staff of Apple Music. The best 100 records, all genres.
Hang on, before you say
I
anything,
don't know what
I'm
this is. I didn't know what any of these were.
I'm gonna guess it's not a tick because I'm at an even 5.
Okay. I think
Chicken-
there's about
look.
15 records we probably could have counted, but okay.
Chicken scratch. See,
Fine. Ready?
Ready.
Number 1. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. What the fuck?
I threw.
Why
the
did I
notebook,
spend 10
threw-
minutes on this?
I threw the notebook. I threw the pen.
I like
Fuck
Lauryn
this.
Hill, but get fucked.
Fuck.
man.
Get fucked. Get just whatever. I'm burning
I'm not
the
saying
notebook.
it's not a good record. It's a
No,
great record.
I am burning the notebook tomorrow.
Did you know the story?
I don't
Can
care. I don't care.
Quick
I don't care.
anecdote, because we've already burned enough time on this, and we need to get to the fucking record, and we have to do a shirt check. Year 2000, whenever this record came out, 99, 2000. my boss at the time his wife was obsessed with Lauryn Hill and the Fugees, and was like, get my wife tickets to this show at all costs. So here's my credit card, here's my black card, get us tickets front row. Whatever you have to spend, it's her birthday. So I get the tickets, they go to the show, I arrange a hotel for them down in South Jersey. They're not going to drive back and forth late at night. They got a sitter for their kids, yada, yada, yada. And she puts on like the most awful wet fart in a brown paper bag performance of all time. She farts her way through about 6 songs, rambling incoherently, walks off the stage, no concert. They drove 2 hours to see her play for 35 minutes and shit the bed and leave. And my boss is like, can you get my money back? I was like, I bought these from a ticket reseller. I can't get your money back. You cannot get your money back. They literally were thousands of dollars for front row seats. End of story. Shirt check.
Shirt check. So,
fuck Apple Music.
If anybody ever wonders why I refer to my wife as lawyer wife, not just my wife. Obviously, 1, I don't want to say her name on the podcast. But 2, I don't want anybody to think that I am stealing her thunder. I am, as one of my coworkers puts it, a kept man. And I'm fine with that. Because you know what? I am Kenough.
Somebody did the I Am Ken song at karaoke, and I was like, slow clap. Very good.
She brought, the wife and the kid went out shopping on Sunday when I was recording with Duncan. And I said, get me a t-shirt. And they came home with I Am Kenough. And you know what? Perfection.
You are. Let's have a beach off. Let's beach it.
Hey, if you're going to California, you're going to need somebody that can beach.
That's true. I am wearing my quasi almost famous shirt since I already quoted it today. Detroit sucks. I'm getting sweaty in here. I'm a little sweaty from the heat here.
We quote that all the time.
Yeah.
So.
That's my Lester Bangs shirt. I didn't do it earlier. I was going to make it part of the news check, but I just want a really quick 10-second sidebar. I've been posting on the Ghost Cult Keefy Instagram. Make sure you follow Nik and Keefy on all the social things. But I have been pushing. I did a little Keefy history and music on my Instagram because I got a card in the mail from writer Dan Ozzie. I subscribed to his Substack, and he sent me a membership card that says I am not a poser. And then I got this book from Brooklyn Vegan as a throw-in to one of my orders. It was a few bucks. This is Crate Digger by Bob Soren, who was in punk bands and had a record store, and it's basically a record-by-record reflection of his entire life collecting punk rock records with a loving review of each record and why it's important to him. So I've just been reading this, and it's pretty fucking rad. And I've been just getting in. I got the Serge Tankian book that I'm trying to get through to write a review, and I got a couple of other music-related books, so I'm pretty stoked. And that's it.
And I believe we have a book to talk about next week.
We might.
Alrighty. I'm going to set the table. If you could picture yourself, when you say to yourself, is this my beautiful wife? This is not my beautiful wife. And sorry. We are going to go back to 1977. In 1977, this comes out in October. Between the first and last of October. Anybody? Mallrats. That's the topless. Anyway, sorry. So October 77 is. We are past the first 100 days of the Jimmy Carter administration. We are knee deep in oil crises. We are knee deep in inflation. Pretty soon, houses are going to cost 20% interest, which is way higher than it is now. I'm going to point out, but don't buy a house either way. But Queen does a night at the opera, a day at the races, tours and tours and tours and tours. And right now we have a global phenomenon. And what happens after you have created a global phenomenon, when you have gone from just 4 dudes at the bar to stadium filling international megastars? You write self-aggrandizing songs, and we'll get to those. But it's 1977. To quote Lester Bangs at this point, rock is dead.
Get in for the last grasp, the last grope.
God, I love that phrase.
What do you type on? Smith Galaxis Deluxe. Something Deluxe. You do drugs? No. Smart kid. All right. We can't do the whole movie today. Some other time. We need to do the watch through.
We do need we will do that. I promise. The next time Lawyer Wife goes out of town.
I don't know if we know one more person that loves the movie as much as us, but maybe too many voices. But it might be fun. But we definitely can't. We can't monetize this shit anyway, so we just fucking go for it.
No, what it would be is we wouldn't record the movie.
No,
I mean, do you need to hear the vocal? Do you need to hear the speak?
It's like our equivalent of a DVD analysis, you know.
Right,
DVD
we would do what Kevin
track.
Smith used to do. He would do DVD commentary tracks with his
that's
buddies.
How we're gonna do it. That's how we're gonna.
We
do
don't. I mean, I don't need to actually like hear what he's saying. I know it. I mean, it's like Monty Python.
Like
for me.
they need to hear it so they understand the context.
No, you have to know what. No, you can't.
No,
no
one's gonna know it as well as us. Come on, buddy. We'll talk. But I think we have to do it the way.
Straight up, Kevin's. Anyway, where was I? I'm done.
You're done. Okay, really quick. The top rock albums that came out the same time as this Queen album, News of the World, which Nick talked very little about. Rumors, Fleetwood Mac, just talked about it. Slow Hand, Eric Clapton, good record. Fuck him. Farewell Kings, Rush, great album. Marquee Moon, Television, great album. Animals, Pink Floyd. New Boots and Panties, Ian Dury. Just to fuck with Nick. Lust for Life, Iggy Pop, with maybe the greatest photo of him ever.
Hang on, you skipped one. You skipped one.
I'm reading off the Google list. There's no skipping. I'm not going in an order. I'm reading off a list.
Okay.
Lust for Life, Iggy Pop. Foreigner, self-titled.
Got it.
Low, David Bowie. Aja, Steely Dan. Who goes my balls? Cheap Trick, In Color. The Tragic Street Survivors, Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Got it.
Nick's favorite album of this year, Love Gun, Kiss.
That's not.
It is.
Animals is.
Let the Animals is also mine. Let There Be Rock, Bon Scott, AC/DC. It says Bon Scott, I don't know why. Fuck Jackson Brown, Queen. Heroes, also David Bowie, same year. Jesus Christ, that guy.
Well, in the 70s, you put out, you did the Deuce every year.
Yeah. Terminally overrated, Elvis Costello, But My Aim Is True is a decent record.
I do not need Elvis Costello
at all. I don't.
No.
I think he's really overrated. Really not good.
If he didn't exist, rock would still be the same.
Styx, Grand Illusion.
Yeah. I saw Dennis DeYoung play that front to back.
You did. Book of Dreams, Steve Miller Band. Bad Reputation, Tin Lizzy. Bat Out of Hell, Meatloaf.
Yeah, got that on vinyl.
Billy Joel, The Stranger. I have that on vinyl.
I do not.
Even in the quietest moments, Supertramp, underrated band. Maybe we do a Supertramp series.
Didn't know Supertramp went that long.
There you go. Longer than that. Out of the Blue, ELO. Not a bad record.
Don't need that.
Heart, Little Queen. You have it on vinyl.
Do I?
I think so. The Clash, self-titled.
Got that.
Might be their debut album, I think.
It is their debut.
Neil Young, American Stars and Bars. Yep.
Don't have that.
Kansas, Point of No Return, KNO.
I have that.
I have that also. Never Mind the Bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. Sex Pistols. The beginning of Alan Parsons' career ripping off every Pink Floyd record. I, Robot. Iggy Pop, Deuce, The Idiot. Second record.
Two Iggy Pops. Two Iggy Pops.
Two Iggy Pops. Many multiple meanings for that. Songs from the Wood, Jethro Tull. Jesus.
What?
What are these sexual references?
Man, those guys are so pretentious. And I mean, it's me saying it.
Yeah. James Taylor, JT.
Don't need. I'm seeing him this year. So a buddy of mine, I'm going to see James Taylor. His response was, he's still alive?
Hang with me. Almost done here. Before and After Science, Brian Eno. Cheap Trick, self-titled. That's 2. Going for the 1, yes. Not their best record, but okay. Quiet Zone, Vandergraaf Generator. Again, a band we have to revisit. Damn, Damn, Damn by the Damned. A lot of punk starting here. Peter Gabriel.
This is the punk year.
One of the many Peter Gabriel self-titled albums. Sin After Sin, Judas Priest. Brian Ferry, In Your Mind, solo record. I think that's his debut.
That's the Brian Ferry. That's the
Roxy Music.
The Runaways guy, right?
No.
No.
Brian Ferry is from Roxy Music. Eddie Money, self-titled, good album. Suspiria soundtrack by Goblin.
Talking Heads 77.
Yes, that's coming. Simple Dreams, Linda Ronstadt. Talking Heads 77. And I think that's it for this whole list. But
for the record, I do not have the Heart record. I do not have that one.
All right. Do you have anything to add? We've talked very little about this News of the World album. Do you need me to just pick it up?
No, I'll pick it up.
Let's try to be brief because it's already 5:40.
So in 1977, as you mentioned in the rock records, what comes out? What happens that year in 1977? What is the change? What is the significant moment? Alrighty, I'll
I
say
don't
it.
know.
All right. What kind of shirts were what record? What is the most important record out of all the ones you listed off, culturally speaking?
I mean, I hate to say the Sex Pistols, so I'll say the
It is.
Clash.
Nope, it is the Sex
I
Pistols.
know. The Clash
And
are a better
I
band every
the
way around.
way but because they're good. The Sex Pistols were fucking terrible. I mean, just awful. You know, the great rock and roll swindle was that somebody paid them to do anything because they're just terrible. But what does Sid Vicious wear at this time? He wears a T-shirt that says Keefy.
Does it say fuck Pink Floyd?
I hate Pink Floyd.
I hate Pink Floyd, yeah.
Okay,
Which
so Pink.
Roger was really, not to talk about Roger at all, but like he was always talks about how devastated he felt, like a kinship with the punks. He understood what they were doing. He understood why they hated Pink Floyd, but he still felt like, why am I the target? Look at my lyrics. And they fucking hated his guts. And they hated Queen too, by the way.
Oh yeah, Roger, read the room, buddy. Read the room. Uh, Roger Waters. I am with everyone. No, you're not. Most people really hate you, and I love you, and I hate you just as much. Anyway, so yes, so Sid Vicious is not Sid Vicious. Johnny Rotten is seen wearing a I Hate Pink Floyd record. Pink Floyd in
Shirt.
1970. What? Oh yeah, you're right. God damn it. Anyway, in 1977, Pink Floyd is probably the epitome of the pretentious, the existential, the everything bloated about rock. The one thing that punk rock is railing against is the bloviation, the bloatation, the pomposity of what rock music has become. Rock music has gone from the subversive, the degenerate, into the driving force, into the learned opinion about the world. Well, that is never where it should be. It should be angry. It should be divisive. It should be sexual. It should be everything Animals is not. Still my favorite record of 1977 because Animals is amazing and Roger Waters' twist on the George Orwell novel of the same name is perfection. However, Sid Vicious or Johnny Rotten is a goddamn moron and doesn't know shit. Said it. He knows how to make a dollar for not doing anything. He's really good at that. So, what happens if you are a band that's not any of those things? That's not subversive. That's not dirty. That's not, you know, when people talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I'm very much on record on this podcast and just me talking to people in general in the record store if they'll listen to me. Rock and roll is not a genre. Rock and roll is a catch-all for not the arts. The arts meaning classical, opera, etc. The lower class music, the working class music. And at this point in time, rock becomes yacht rock. Rockers become disco players. And everyone is taking the working class out of rock music. At this point in time, the Kiss stage show becomes a multimedia event. Ace Frehley is paying people to build guitar special effects guitars for him. Pink Floyd puts on what Nick Mason refers to as the greatest rock and roll theater of all time. Alice Cooper has already done disco. So when the fictional Lester Bangs said rock is dead, it's at this time, and he's right. So something has to change to kill it and move it forward, and that is the Sex Pistols, which fuck me that I got to give them credit for it, but I do. So what
Do you know the anecdote? Are you getting to this anecdote where they're in the studio at the same time?
No, just let me
Oh,
finish.
all right.
Spoiler alert, Keefy. Anyway, so the world has changed. In the 70s, in the 60s, and in the 80s, There were far more eras per decade than there are now. The 70s was like 4 decades, and we are now hitting the final era where rock is dead and it splits off into punk and disco. So choose your weapon.
Oh, that's you. That's a very poignant ending. So,
Thank you.
um, I think it's very interesting. So, again, now Queen is officially an arena headliner and sometimes a stadium headliner, and they still haven't had, we said like A Day at the Races is a better record actually than A Night at the Opera, but okay,
By a lot. By a lot.
by a lot. But interestingly enough, they get ready to make yet another record that they wrote in the spring of 77, recorded over the summer, and put out literally 8 weeks, less than 8 weeks later, 6 weeks later, even. News of the World, and I think punk had already happened and was happening. And the band was feeling it directly because while they were recording at Wessex Studios, Sex Pistols were making Nevermind the Bollocks next door in the same studio. And they had confrontations, apparently, with the band. And Freddie met him and infamously called Sid Vicious Simon Ferocious, which he then recounted to the press.
Nice.
And at one point, Sid crawled across the studio floor to Freddie and was like, "Hello, Freddie," and then ran out. Like, they were giving each other shit. I think in their own way, Queen was everything the Sex Pistols hated. Just the success, the fame, the supposed money, the grandiosity, as you said excellently earlier. So I just think it's
I think that Queen was everything they wanted to be. I'm sorry, you don't sign a recording contract without wanting to make records.
I think Steve is the person that wanted to be a rock star. I don't think anybody else in the band, like Sid was a rock star more than he was a talent. He had no talent, actually, very little
Correct.
talent.
Same with Sid.
But yeah, well, I'm saying Sid. Sid is the guy who didn't have the talent, but he had
Oh, I'm
charisma.
sorry.
Johnny,
I forget that Johnny and Sid aren't the same human
they are not the same human. Johnny's
because
the redheaded
because I
douchebag.
don't give a fuck.
I know. Johnny's anyway.
They're all terrible.
They're not even regarded to me. They're not even remotely the top five punk band ever. They're
They're
important because of that
they're
record.
not even musicians. Let's call a thing what it
Well,
is.
Steve is. Steve is, and let's not. Well, this is not about them. We have to get through this album. So I'm gonna
Moving
lead the
on.
track by track. I think it's a interesting record for a variety of reasons, and I remember this vividly from my childhood that it was a pretty massive album. Um, on the strength of the first two songs, which are like you have to start with these songs. This arguably two top five Queen songs: "We Will Rock You," which is hardly a song, and "We Are the
Barely.
Champions," which was another top massive worldwide hit single for the band.
We will rock you. I mean, I think we've all done the boom boom tsh, boom boom tsh. How many times in school assemblies did we do that? How many times at hockey games, at football games, at baseball games does, you know, Cheers did one of their cold openers of this song. And it just started off with one of the guys at the bar going, just not even thinking. And then eventually it turned into the entire bar singing this song. This song, and I hate this word because it's overused and underreported, it's iconic. This is a legitimately iconic song. This is what you play. And just for a second, think about what kind of money you make as a songwriter if you get a song in the arenas. There are about 200 songs that are routinely played in American sporting arenas. I can't speak to European ones because I don't know what it's like over there in terms of. I've never gone to a sporting event outside of the United States. But in the United States, there is no moment that is not permeated by music. And this is the number one song in the arena, period. And it's a great song. I can remember singing this song, arguing with my cousins about whether it was blood or mud on his face. Turns out it was both.
Right. Yeah, lyrics are a little tough to pick up. There's the other version of "We Will Rock You" that they used to open shows with. That's like a much more up tempo, full song. Um, you know, uh, "We Will Rock You" is incredible. "We Are the Champions" is incredible. These are staple songs of Queen.
Hang on. You jump forward.
Well, no, I mean I consider them part of the same song. They're literally the same. They're literally two, part A and part B. They're on the single together. They're played back to back most of the time on radio. Like, I don't know if you remember that or appreciate that, but I consider them one and two. So I took them together.
All right, well, fair enough. So, We Are the Champions, my friends, is the ultimate stadium song because you cannot lift the Stanley Cup. This thing right here. You cannot lift the Stanley Cup without doing it to the strains of "We Are the Champions." Homer Simpson couldn't reel in General Sherman the catfish without singing "We Are the Champions." So when I said that "We Will Rock You" is the ultimate arena song, I lied because it's not. "We Are the Champions" is. Because you know what? We have no time for losers. Because we are the champions. And this song is amazing. Freddie nails it. And he talks about how hard it is to get fame and fortune and blah, blah, blah. Shut up, Freddie. Go back to "We Are the Champions." We like that part. And as for it being together, when I was little, "We Will Rock You" was played separately. But now, at least in St. Louis, you cannot. It's a 5-minute block. When KC plays "We Will Rock You," it is followed by "We Are the Champions." And by the way, Stanley Cup, St. Louis Blues, 2019. I'm living in the past, man. It's right there. Anybody on YouTube, you see this?
Yeah, Rangers should have one in about 2 more weeks.
You know what? I am not rooting for them unless they win this round. If they win this round, I'm on. And if they win this round and Edmonton wins, I'm rooting for New York. Okay. Actually, no. I'm rooting for New York only if they beat St. Louis's own Florida Panthers. Matthew Kachuk.
St. Louis's own Florida Panthers. By the way, there were music videos made for these. This is when music videos were happening, even though there was nowhere to really watch them.
And they were terrible.
Well, I guess. Apparently, every single person that was at the "We Are the Champions" videotaping in 1977 got the LP single as a gift.
I did a Sinister Dane videotaping, and all I got was pizza. Paid for by Sony Records, though.
Omar Cut This was in the music video for a few things, including the Machine Head From This Day video and Strapping Young Lad Suspiria. Not to be confused with the...
Well, isn't Omar so just fancy?
Oh, Vampira. Sorry, not Suspiria. The third song on the album is a song that Nick has already disparaged in a previous podcast episode, Sheer Heart Attack, the song.
We have a Led Zeppelin Houses of the Holy situation, and I refuse to comment.
By refusing to comment, you just did.
All right, fine. We have the Doors Waiting for the Sun situation, and I refuse to comment.
All right, I'm gonna comment since you won't. It's a rockin' song. Obviously, after those first 2 songs, and apparently, like "We Are the Champions" was written in '75 and not recorded until '77. So this like, what a statement to open the album, and then you need something else. What could follow these 2 iconic, classic, incredible songs? And they tried to do a rocker written by Roger Taylor, and originally on the demo sung by Roger, but Freddie sings the main lead on the verses, and then Roger sings the chorus, which is why it sounds a little different. It's got a weird, I don't know if they were mad about the punks, but it's got like a very raw production, like very shitty production on purpose to me. Not
great.
A great
not great.
Song.
No.
All right, just all right. Definitely not good.
It's a song that's on the record. Moving on to All Dead, sung by Dr. Sir Brian May, CBE. And I really like this one. This one is nice, it's calm, it's really messed up. And you know what? It's messed up in just the right way for 1977. This album so far is going, if I'm going to quote my good friend Duncan, it's going wrong, but it's going wrong in all the right ways.
Guess this is a song about Brian May's cat that had just died, so I don't know.
With you, Brian.
I get it. I get it. Next is Spread Your Wings by John Deacon with piano by Freddie. What can I say? There's a music video for this one too. This is a pretty okay song. It's just okay.
This song is amazing. I love, really, just okay. Okay, Keefy is muted and sneezing, and which is diffusing my anger. I'm muting myself.
Well, that's not good. If I'm muted and you're muted, that doesn't help the show.
Yeah, it made you stop the sneeze, though, didn't it?
Maybe I have to go back and.
I like this song. It's just
was
one
it
of those.
Amazing, or do you like it? Like is not amazement.
Did I say amazing?
It's amazing. I love this song. Which one is it?
All right,
Like
you know
or
what?
amazing?
I may have overstated a little bit. It's a pretty damn good song. It's one of those rah rah rah, we're punk, we're gonna do our thing songs, which I guess actually makes sense for 1977. Moving on to Fight from the Inside. I know everybody's thinking right now, man, you know what we need? Roger Taylor singing a song. And I wish that were true because Roger Taylor is truly an amazing talent. And this probably is his best song so far with Queen. But unfortunately, that's a very low bar because those songs include I'm in Love with My Car.
Oh, it's so good. This is a decent song. I like that Roger is like really stepped up to write a lot of songs now, and sing a lot of lead. I don't know why, but you know, again, you have the greatest singer maybe ever, and also Roger, as I've said many times, could have been a singer in his own right, in his own band this whole way. Good riff, good song. You know, good side one closer. Again, really hard to keep the arrow going up after those first two.
Correct. Absolutely correct. We flip the record, side 2, and we get down to the dirtiest, filthiest, nastiest song, which has a little bit of insinuation by Freddie Mercury, Get Down, Make Love. And frankly, this song is horrifically bad. It is just, I mean, he's trying to make a statement. However, a little verbosity, a little loquacity, a little something more would have improved this. It is just an extraordinarily repetitious, nearly disco song on the Queen punk record.
It's interesting. I will say that I get what they were going for, and I think
I get that too.
I think there was a discussion about like the reaction to the last two records. This, you know, this grandiose. They're far off from progressive rock now, from their roots. And
Correct.
They tried to make like a Led Zeppelin blues rock song, just straight up. They hadn't done too many of those.
That was not. No, it was more disco. It just.
I mean, like I think because there's the sound effects and the beat, but like
Yeah,
to
the
me
sound
it's
effects
a rock,
and
to me it's a guitar riff song, and like
Well, to me it's a bad song that had. It's a
Right.
bad song with great intentions.
That's probably true. That's a fair way to put it. Let's talk about Sleeping on the Sidewalk.
I'm done.
Freddie gets Brian gets serious. Also lead vocals by you're done completely at this point. Wow.
Do you know what I never want, quite frankly? Queen being serious.
I mean, Under Pressure
You thought that was serious?
it's about homelessness. What do you think
Is
it
it?
is?
Is it really? Huh. I don't read the lyrics. I don't.
Guess. All right.
It's-
Anyways,
if I read the lyrics, I would know what the terror of knowing what this world is all about. Hello.
Not funny. Not funny after you don't understand the song.
Still funny.
Anyway, it's not funny. Yeah, I don't know. There's some dubious stuff about this. Maybe they weren't trying to. This take that made the record may not have been their favorite or even a good one by some accounts. Not entirely sure what's going on. Okay, Who Needs You is the next song, and I do not need this song, even though I do like the Spanish guitar on it by Brian May. I like what they were going for.
The thing about the flamenco Spanish guitar, so like it's 2008. I am now dealing with my ex-wife walking out the door, and I'm going to my first concert after she's left. And it's Robbie Krieger and Ray Manzarek at the Doors, and they are pulling me through this moment, this hellacious moment in my life. And they play Spanish Caravan, And Ray Manzarek speaks for minutes and minutes about how great Robbie Krieger is and how he's the only person in any rock band that can play flamenco guitar. But that was a lie.
It was not a truth. We'll say that. Who Needs You Again? I don't need this. There's cowbell on here and maracas, which is fun.
Yeah, cowbell's nice, but you know what? No, I'm doing.
This is a very good song. This has surprised me how much I remembered and loved this song. It's Late, another Brian May. There's interesting guitar techniques on here, including finger tapping. Originally made famous by Jimi Hendrix and hammer-ons, but this is like actual tapping. Not quite Eddie Van Halen tapping with the speed and the dexterity, but nice.
Well,
It's Late.
don't forget Ace Frehley's tapping in 1977.
Yeah. It's Late. Good song. What do you think?
It's okay. I mean, the backside of this is, I mean, let's be realistic. Side 2 of this record has not one classic song.
I think It's Late is a great song, but it's not a classic song. I also want to say, do you notice a lack of Freddie on this record completely? Is it me? It's hard to say that after those first 2 songs that are all Freddie all the time.
Okay, just for I mean, Freddie has one. He has 3. He has 3 writing credits on this record. It's also far less piano because it's a reactionary record. That's the problem with this record, and I'm going to save it, so hold on to that thought.
We're almost, yeah, but I feel like there's a lack of Freddie.
There is a lack of Freddie compared to the last 2 records. Yes, that is true.
Is it the situation with 2 records ago with Bohemian Rhapsody where the pinnacle songs are so massive that they carry the whole record? I don't know. My Melancholy Blues is the last track on the record. I absolutely, positively do not need this song.
Fair enough. Let's just kick that in the junk and move forward. This record is a reactionary record to the sign. It is a response to the sign of the times. And the difference with this record and like every Kiss record that is a response to the sign of the times is they actually got it at the right time. Unlike, Pink Floyd, who tried to do responses to the sign of the times and never could. So Queen completely ditches all of their pomposity. There is no lazing on a Sunday afternoon here. There is not a single seaside rendezvous with anyone. However, what made Queen great is their pomposity. What makes Queen amazing is how they are willing to go way over the top. So when you remove that, what are they? And not only that, you remove Freddie. There's very little piano on this record. The last couple 3, he is tickling the ivories and cupping the balls. And it's just not here. And when you take away, what is Eddie Van Halen without finger tapping, dive bombs, and pinched harmonics? He's a random nobody.
I really wish you hadn't ever uttered that on this podcast. Anyway.
All right, fine. You know what? Okay, look, I went too far. He's not a random.
Too far every time, man. Every time. That's insane. Like, come on.
That's my deal.
That's crazy, though.
All right, if you take away Eddie Van Halen's signature licks,
you already blew the analogy. Don't make it worse. Stop it. Don't talk about Edward Van Halen right now. Don't.
Right, then he's just Steve Vai.
Say nothing. Say less.
Never.
If you blow the analogy in the future, don't double down. That's worse.
If I blow the analogy, well, then I'll swallow it.
Well, that's a whole separate thing. Anyway, let's just talk really quickly on a positive note, rather than make weird references and comparisons for no reason that don't have any weight or bearing. The album artwork is iconic, and actually some of the best album artwork Queen has ever had, which is really.
This is the first double iconic episode of the Glacially Musical Podcast. We have both said iconic.
Maybe. Frank Kelly Freyas had done the front cover of the magazine Astounding Science Fiction. It was a monthly science fiction reader when magazines were a thing in 1953. And Brian May, what a surprise, had loved this thing. Freddie also.
The astrophysicist?
Yes, he's a big sci-fi fan. And so the robot and even the whole everything from this is like how they literally just co-opted the artwork. They got Frank Kelly Freyas to redo it. Randomly, the caption for the magazine is "Please fix it, Daddy," which is oddly.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean that's in my wheelhouse, but
Nope.
Daddy likes, and
Stop
Daddy
it.
will fix it anyway. So,
Stop.
anywho, great album
If
cover. This
you
was
say that
reissued.
one more time, I'm talking about Eddie Van Halen more.
This was reissued for a 45th anniversary box set a year and a half ago, and it's pretty fantastic. Really quick, literally in a minute or less, sum up this album and now answer the question I asked before without talking about Eddie Van Halen. Is this a great record because it only has 2 or 3 or 4 great songs? Again, like A Night at the Opera, or is it like these 2 songs are so good it's still a very high ranking album?
See, A Night at the Opera is so good because the quality is so high. It's like Van Halen's Fair Warning, right? Fair Warning is not a great record, but it has like 2 songs that are so good, like Van Halen's best songs. So you have to have it. And that's what this record is. This record is the Queen version of Fair Warning. It is not a Queen record as we knew it, but it has. I mean, the first 2 songs are. Okay, fine. I'm gonna triple down on iconic. We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions are quite possibly the 2 most iconic songs from the 1970s.
More than Bohemian Rhapsody.
More than Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, I think so, but okay.
You name one television show that referenced Stairway to Heaven by just tapping out part of it.
I think Kashmir is a better song than Stairway to Heaven. Actually,
I agree.
Stairway.
I agree. Kashmir is better, but Kashmir is not as iconic. And I hate that word, but you're making me say it, and I know what you're doing. You're making me say it.
What else I'm gonna make you do? Take us home. We're done.
Alrighty. So, News of the World is a record that happened. It's got some amazing business, and it's got some retreads, and it's got some no treads, quite honestly. This is not a 30-30-30 record. This is a 20-40-40 record, which is unfortunate. But the good news is it is remembered, and it will always be remembered. You don't need it. Queen is quickly. We're on what, our 6th Queen record now?
This was the 6th of 8 or 9 Queen records we're gonna do.
We're still going. Holy shit, we're still
going. We got 3,
right.
At least 3 more. At least.
At least.
And the last episode has to kind of bookend the whole band and Freddie's death and fucking Live Aid and fuck.
Welcome to the Queen podcast, because apparently we're doing this for the next 8 years.
I mean, you didn't say no, and then you try to backtrack on Flash Gordon, which I'm not allowing. So now we're going.
All right, we will do Flash Gordon.
We might have to do the movie also, like as the movie and the soundtrack. Nick quits. Stop. Take us home, meaning do the ending.
I'm sorry, I hit my head on the microphone several times in a row for some reason.
Never start with the head. The victim gets all blurry. See? Joker.
Didn't see it. Thank you.
Heath Ledger, like Batman Dark Knight.
Well, I saw that one time.
Why? One? I've seen it like 1,000 times. How could you see it once?
Because I've touched a boob.
I have too. Last night. 2 of them. Repeatedly. Go ahead. Not my own. Others. Someone else.
I will mute you. I can't mute him. It's his meeting. Thank you for joining us this week at the Glacially Musical Podcast. We love the fact that you are here. We love doing this. We would love to bring this to more people because we think that this show is worthwhile. And we're just going to keep, like Spinal Tap does, ramming it straight down their throats. And if it were a hit, it would be bigger. So help us. If you can like, subscribe, comment, interact. Keefy can be found at Ghost Cult Keefy. I can be found at Glacially Musical of some sort on Blue Sky, Mastodon, Threads, blah, blah, blah. On X, I am at NIK_NO_C. Nick, no C. No C's involved in that. And if you could just please say hi, follow, love, whatever. But as we say every week, thank you for joining us. This has been the Glacially Musical Podcast. And even though... Nope, I'm not going to say it. It does not play in Peoria.
Do not disparage Edward Van Halen in my presence ever again, sir.
I have
Face the
never
wrath.
disparaged Eddie Van Halen.
You did already.
No,
see you soon.
you interpreted it.
Chaser next week, followed by Queen Jazz the week after. Peace out.
Oh God, more Queen.